Many hands have been folded, many bluffs have been called. From over 300 players, we're now down to the best of the best, here at the final table.
There you go, Gino. 4 days in, we've made it to the final table, and look at the cash and the watch. I love it.
But you know what I love better than the cash and the watch, Rodney?
I have a horrible feeling you're going to tell me.
Well, they're there.
The pretty girls.
Absolutely.
Let's have a look at the final 9. From Italy, Michele Ferrari. Probably easy to guess where he's from with a name like that. Unlike many of his countrymen, however, Michele is a quiet man. Poker pro, 5th live tournament to date, and my personal feeling, a possible contender.
Another possible contender for me, Gerasimus Deris from Sweden, a poker pro from Europe with $177,000 in chips. I'm not surprised this guy is in the final table.
David Saab, can't call him a quiet man. He's not a retiring little chappie at all. Won 2 Aussie Million bracelets already, pro for 5 years. Will be very entertaining to see how the quieter men here deal with our Australian friend.
Speaking of quiet men, Chris Rowe from Korea, no stranger to the game of poker, as he has run poker rooms in Manila and Korea with $455,000 in chips.
One of the local contingent, Terry Gonzaga from the Philippines, certainly looking the part of the poker pro. Terry's in actual fact a local businessman, playing now for just over a year.
All right, $164,000 in chips for Mr. Gonzaga from the Philippines. Of course, another man from the Philippines, Don Carmona, the dark horse of the final table. Although he's short stacked, $64,000 in chips, I expect this guy to be tight the entire final table unless he has a big hand.
Needs to double up quick. Man Jin Yun of Korea, one of the large Korean contingent here at the APT. He has consistently ranked amongst the chip leaders. Another one to watch, 426,000 the chip count.
All right, and the Korean contingent is big here in the APT, and it continues with Kwang-Soo Lee of Korea, $255,000 in chips. This man provided a lot of action throughout the past couple days.
Satoru Ishii, another dark horse from Japan, only learned to play the game 6 months ago. Obviously got some natural talent, might upset a few of the experienced players. Let's move over and have a look at the final table chip count. Well, there we have the chip count. David Saab coming in with a significant advantage there, Gino.
And the 2 Filipinos, Terry Gonzaga and Don Carmona, down in the bottom. So they got to make some moves, or, you know, might be blinded or antied out here.
Yeah, I think Don's going to find the blinds eating into that chip stack very quickly. He's going to have to be hoping for some good cards early on here.
Started with 316 players, and we're down to the final 9. At this time, I'm going to say those famous words.
316 players, by the way. That's the largest entrance for a tournament here in the Philippines, Gino.
As we see the final table, we see representatives from different parts of the globe, so it's going to be hard to perhaps trash talk or understand each other on the final table.
Well, fortunately, they've only got to listen to David.
Michele folds. David folds.
Some tight expressions there and some tight play also.
Now.
It's very typical for the final table. People are still trying to feel each other out, a little bit tentative in the first hand. And unless you have a monster hand like that, American Airlines for Derez.
Surely Asian Airlines now.
Asian Airlines, it is the Asian Poker Tour. So Derez, he should make a significant raise here, but not too much because he's going to want to call it.
He's going to want to draw someone in there. Wonderful poker expression from Derez, though. Final table and you pick up Asian Airlines on the first card.
5s there for Rowe. This is definitely callable in the final table. He has a significant chip lead over Derez. I wouldn't be surprised if he re-raises his Derez here, and that's going to fall right into the trap of Derez.
Derez will be absolutely delighted to see a re-raise here.
Absolutely. Re-raises. And there it is. This is going to be instant all-in for Derez.
And Derez is all in.
Absolutely no hesitation there. Chips towards the center of the table. And Derez must be feeling quietly confident here.
Now, if you're a row, you got to be thinking, you have pocket pairs, you have a significant chip stack lead over the rival. This is callable.
Yeah, short stacked. He knows that he's going to have to make a move if he gets reasonable cards. Doesn't necessarily mean to say that he's going to be sitting there with pocket aces, does it?
No, he could be thinking ace-king. He could be thinking a little bit pocket pairs as well.
Yep.
He does call. He's not going to like to see that. He's not going to like it when he sees aces.
2 aces. over here for
Wow,
Darris.
perfect first hand here for Darris.
Chris shows
And he
2-5.
could double
Aces
up,
versus 5.
and he could be a major threat to the guys at the
Aces
top of
versus
the
He was,
chip
he was one of my
First
dark
hand.
horses at the beginning of the final table action. Let's see what the flop holds.
For 175,000.
80-20, heavy favorite for the Swede.
I want some space.
Well, there's the 5, and it's interesting that Mr. Saab appears to be slightly more excited about that than Mr. Rowe.
Set of 5.
I cannot believe this. This was a perfect hand for Rowe, for Darris, I should say, to double up. And wow, I mean, if he doesn't turn over an ace here,
Some might call that a smile. I would tend to call it a grimace.
this could be over. Now he has
We'll have our first
2
elimination.
outs. He needs an ace, or it's over for Darris. And look at Rowe. It's almost like he planned this.
Inscrutable.
Another 7.
And it's full house.
Chris Rowe, we have our first elimination.
What a very painful loss here for Darris.
Well, I'll tell you someone that's going to be happy here. David Saab, before the final table began, told me that he was the one he feared if he got off to a good start.
Yeah, I mean,
And he's helping him away from the table. Isn't that charming?
he played that hand perfectly, but you know, it's sometimes that's what happens. It's
What
poker.
can you do?
What a way to go, though. You got to feel for him.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gino, if that's the first hand,
There's going to be a lot of action here in the
there's
final
going to
table.
be a lot of action.
Going for about another 110,000. I think about 100,000.
Blinds at 6,000 and 12,000.
There's still a lot of tension in the final table.
There is, isn't there?
They don't like talking to each other.
Chris Foles, he was
As you
first.
pointed out, there's a few different languages there. If they talk, they may not understand each other anyway.
That's true, too.
Jinyude folds.
Don's body language giving that one away a little. I don't think there was much there for him.
No. But at this point, Carmona is either going to go all in or fold with that kind of chip stack that he has. He barely hung on to get to the final table. And Kornikovas for Ishii.
Back to pretty girls again, Gino.
Well, I call them Anna Kornikovas because they look good, but sometimes they just lose. Or should I say, a lot of times they lose. Very dangerous hand, Anna Kornikovas.
66,000.
A little bit of a big raise there, considering the blind. 66,000. He's trying to. It seems like he just would want the antes and the blinds.
And Terry
Maybe
Gonzaga's
hurrying a
all
little
in.
bit, maybe just a
little
touch of inexperience
But
showing there.
Gonzaga with a short stack, ace-10, that's an easy all-in for him.
Back to Satoro.
Actually, any face card and a 10, he would have gone all in with the type of stack that he had. Now, Ishii has to be thinking he's going up against pairs, pocket pairs, and is his ace-king good enough to be able to call that raise, that all-in raise by Gonzaga?
100,000.
But like I said, Anna Kornikovas look good. They're just a little bit scary.
And he's been called.
Sometimes just can't win, as you
Terry
say.
Gonzaga
There it
all
is.
in.
He's called it.
He's got ace-10 off
Gonzaga's
He's
not
up
gonna
against
like this.
ace-king of Satoru Ishii. Satoru has ace-king.
Complete domination here.
And Terry has ace-10.
Like you say, no way that Gonzaga could have done anything else there at all.
There's nothing. When you see an ace-10 and your
Here
short
comes the
stack in the
flop.
final table, you have to go for it.
Poker 101. You got to call it.
But we've seen the aces cracked. Who knows what can happen here?
Queen 9-4, 3 diamonds.
There's 3
King of
diamonds, 2
in the
possible
hand,
thrust
Satoru
draws, but Ishii still with the advantage with that king.
True, and Gonzaga, well, they both have runner-runner straight draws as well.
The turn card. It's a king.
Ouch.
And this,
Now he needs a jack.
well, he needs a jack. Gonzaga needs a jack to get a straight.
He needs a black.
7%
Jack.
chance. Things don't look too good for the
Jack of
Filipino.
hearts. Here comes the last card. River card is a 4. Not going to happen. Terry Gonzaga has been eliminated.
There we go. First of the local contingent to leave the table. I have to say, just perhaps a little
Terry
unfortunate
Gonzaga
there.
from the Philippines.
Yeah,
Have
he
a
ran
round of
into the
applause
Anna
for Terry
Kornikovas,
Gonzaga.
and they stayed.
So, Gino, early into the final table, we've got departures already. The action fast and furious.
That's right.
And first to go from Sweden, Gerasimus Derez, proving, I think, with his pocket aces, that no key to absolute success.
No, but with his stack, he had to do it. He raised with the pocket aces, which is a proper move, and then when he was re-raised, the only thing he had to do, the only thing he could do was to go push all in, which he did. Unfortunately for him, the 5s hit a set, and that's all she wrote for the Swede.
It was indeed. And following him fairly swiftly was Philippines' Terry Gonzaga. Once again, short stack, did all he could.
Yeah, when you're a short stack, there's nothing much you can do with this blinds as high as they are. You gotta push, you gotta make a move. You have to try and get lucky at some point. And unfortunately for him, and unfortunately for the Philippines, we have one man down. However, there's still one Filipino left in the final table.
Yeah, we still have Don Carmona fighting it out.